Very good morning, Vijay sir. Thank you for taking out time for an interview with College Dunya. Sir, before we start with the interview, I would request you to just give a brief introduction of yours for our viewers.
A very good morning, Sahil. Myself, Dr. Vijay Vadwan. I am professor and head in the Department of Oral and Maxillofacial Pathology and Oral Microbiology. And currently, I am holding the post of Pro Vice Chancellor in Swami Vivekanand Subharati University. I have been working with this university since last 8 years, and I started as a professor and head of the department. Then I went on to become the dean of the student welfare, and currently I am holding the post of the Pro Vice Chancellor.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much for the introduction, sir. So we'll start with the interview questions. So the first question for you is that you have held key positions at education institutes throughout your professional career. So what are the key factors that keep you connected with the education sector?
See, when I was a kid, when I used to go to the school, I always was interested in teaching only, because I know this is the one profession which teaches all other professions. So I always wanted to be a teacher, and nothing, if I am preparing the future generation for something that is going to be for the betterment and for the betterment of the country, for the betterment of the society, I wanted to be a nation builder. And I think a teacher has got the job of a nation builder, and I think I am doing my bit for the nation.
That's great, sir. That's great. Coming to the next question, being the Pro VC of Swami Vivekanand Subharati University, what is your philosophy of leadership? How would you describe your leadership style?
See, if you go by the name of the university, it is Swami Vivekanand Subharati University. Just few days back, we celebrated the National Youth Day, which happens to fall on the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. We follow his dictum, we idolize him, and we follow him to the core. So he said, wait not, stop not, till the time your goal is achieved. And that is how this is our philosophy for the university also. That's what we follow out here.
Right, sir. And additionally, being the Pro VC of Swami Vivekanand Subharati University, how do you strategize about the key programs and plans for the marketing and administration of the institute?
See, we have a separate department of marketing with us. But before that, I'll tell you, we provide opportunity to the students so that they have the wings and we give them the sky to soar. Like they can fly as much high as they want to. There are no restrictions as such for them, and all the resources are provided to the students, barring they are not discriminated upon anything. Here, in fact, if you go by the names of our owners and all, they don't use their surnames at all. They just use their names. So this is one campus where you won't find the barriers of caste, creed, and religion coming in between our growth and our development. So the students have got the sky to aim for. Plus, we keep them connected to the roots also.
All right. That's great, sir. Now, talking about the education system in India and other foreign countries, they're structured very differently. So, in your experience, what can an inbound student gain from studying here at your institute?
In fact, I'll tell you one thing, a very classical example. The government came up with a program of skill development program somewhere in the 2016. But I'll tell you, we are following the hands-on thing since the time I have joined the university. We are always following the hands-on thing. So reading the books is one aspect, but until unless you put that into practice, we won't stand anywhere. And the students tomorrow, no one is going to come and ask us whether you read the theory very well or not. They are going to expect the skills from us. So we are preparing our students for the skill-based and education, and everything is taught practically out here. Whatever is written in the books, we see to it that the students experience themselves hands-on. It is until and unless they experience the things hands-on, they won't be able to come across what are going to be the difficulties when they go across to the society or when they go across to the nation. What are the difficulties they are going to face until and unless they do the things hands-on. So that is the focus of university to provide the practical skills along with the bookish knowledge also.
Right, so that's very important because once a person joins the industry, so one needs to be able to connect that what they have studied in the university to the work they are doing. So
So
that's very important.
we don't limit ourselves to the four walls of the classroom. You will find we have a very different style of teaching out here. We always believe that a student should be able to put into practice what he is learning. So that's what we believe in.
That's great, sir. And additionally, how does the curriculum of your university ensure the best practice of the industry?
See, the national education policy, which has come in 2020, we have already the things are we are already put the things in place. We had started working on the same some 1.5 years back, and we are seeing to it that whatsoever the products, the end products, that is the students that we are sending out to the society, that is our end product at our end. So it has to be beneficial to the society. It has to be beneficial to the industry. We prepare our students to ready to take the world head on.
Okay, so you are already in advance, you have incorporated the national
We have
education
already
policy
incorporated the national
initiatives.
policy. We have already incorporated it, and still the finer points are being worked out because we have to follow some of the curriculum that is being proposed by the government also. So the finer points are being worked out. But on a whole, you'll find that the university has already adopted the system of the national education policy 2020.
All right, so that's great, sir. And what do you think your roles and responsibility to the students are?
See, if I don't do something, I cannot preach it. So I practice the
Right.
things before I preach it. I have to do the things. Until and unless I do the things, I won't come to know what are the practical difficulties in executing something. So, as you can ask from our faculties out here, I'm always at the forefront. I take the things, I try to do the things as much as possible, and obviously I have to delegate the responsibilities to others also. But and on the whole, I try the things first myself. If there are going to be some practical difficulties, I try to overcome those difficulties and try to see to it that what the sail is, there's a smooth sailing for the rest of the faculty. So I try to take whatever comes my way, I try to solve it at my level.
So basically, being a leader, it's you're always proactive and always welcoming people to help
It's,
anywhere they require it.
I'll tell you, people call me a satellite out here. They say you're always around. You're not visible, but you're always around.
That's great. So, sir, any insights into how your institute could be more welcoming to students of different races or economic backgrounds?
See, we have many policies which are for the upliftment of the people from the background which is really not, which really cannot afford the education. We have many policies regarding that. We have we have the sponsorship schemes for them. We have the government sponsorship schemes from them. For them, we have even the owners are sponsoring the education of some of the kids. So just because for the lack of the money, a student should not suffer. That's our policy. Student first is our policy. The racial, the economic, and the social background really doesn't matter at all for us. And that is, you can come, if you get a chance, please visit our university and you really find that this is something which is a mini India that is sitting inside a larger India.
All right, sir. And what do you think should be your institute's top priority over the next 10 years?
My top priority is to go in for more of the international collaborations now. We already have a national presence. We are well-known university. We are already a great university. Now we are going for the second cycle of the National Accrediting Agency, and we hope to get an A++. So that is our national goal. But the next goal comes the international. We have to make our mark internationally now. We are not done and dusted with the national thing. We will keep on striving for the national as well as now the next aim is to go internationally. And because the world has shrunk to a global village, Everything is just available at the click of a button. So why shouldn't people be knowing about the Subharti University also just by sitting at their homes? So next goal is that we have to go international.
So, right, so basically you're focusing on collaboration with international universities so that you become even more welcoming to students abroad, right?
Right. That's a
great initiative. Yeah. So when you first came to Swami Vivekananda Subharti University, what was your vision for the institute? Like, has it evolved over time, and how far along with implementing the vision are you?
See, I have seen a sea change from the time I entered the university to the present day. The things were there already. It's not that we were lacking as a university. The things were in place and the systems were up and running. But we have to keep ourselves abreast with the modern times. We have to keep on evolving ourselves. So remember, if we are just sitting in one corner and not doing anything, even the iron, if it is not put into use, will definitely rust one day. The same happens to the education also. So we are evolving ourselves. We are trying to evolve ourselves. We are trying to catch up to the national as well as the international standards. And within the next 10 years, I'm pretty sure that Subharti University will definitely make a name for itself in the international arena. That's what is our goal as of today.
Right. So that's great, sir. And one last question for the interview. So what would you like people to know about your institute that they may not know? That's something which is not on the website or something you need to tell them that they may not know.
I'll tell you one thing. Our basic motto is Shiksha, Seva, Sanskar, Evam Rashtriyata. You must be wondering, Shiksha, everyone is providing the education. Seva is, we always say that we should serve the fellow human being. Sanskar means we instill the value of belonging to a person. Now coming down to the Rashtriyata, this is our fourth pillar. Now if you happen to come down to Subharti University, you will find that each and every nook and corner of this particular university is named after one or the other freedom fighter. So, and in a very short description about that particular freedom fighter is put is displayed prominently on the wherever that roads or the buildings are named. Like we have a dental college which is named after Guru Gobind Singh. We have a medical college which is named after Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Then we have Ahilya Bai College. We have Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. It's barring any religion. It's not that we are focused on just one religion. We have the Sarhadi Gandhi Khand. Then we have the playgrounds and all that are labeled, that are named after some of the other freedom fighters. So you'll be surprised to know that many individuals, when I joined the university, I did not know many of them. But slowly and steadily, I started reading about them. And now I know, okay, this was a person who has contributed towards the history of the nation and contributed towards the freedom struggle. So this is how we keep our students connected to the roots. All the major anniversaries, all the major days are celebrated. Right now, on 23rd of January, we are going to celebrate the 125th anniversary of the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. And then on 30th of December in the last year, we celebrated the first time when the flag was hoisted of United India. So such functions are celebrated on a regular basis. So every month or every 15 days, some or the other freedom fighter is celebrated in our country, in our university. This is how we are keeping our students grounded to the roots.
Okay, that's great, sir. And just a little more clarification on one of the questions we discussed about the economic backgrounds and the weaker sections of the society. So what kind of initiatives does the university currently have, and what are you planning to implement in future, maybe in the next 2 years?
See, we have if someone is from an economically not sound background, we have the scholarship policy for them. We have a 50% membership for them. We have the scholarships. There are national scholarships that are available from the government also. Some days back, year and a half back, we have started with the university has started with the Subharti Disability Advisory Center. This is the one of its kind advisory center within the university, so that no section of the society is left behind. So we are encouraging the people who are not so. It's differently abled people. So we are we are uh, telling them also to come over to us, and whatsoever is financially viable, we definitely help them out. There are 50% scholarship. Then there are scholarships for the girl child also. A
Okay.
single girl child. The people who have got intercaste marriage, we promote those individuals also. Scholarships are given to those people also. And in our campus, you'll find many retired army personnel serving in different capacities, because and their children are also being they are also getting the scholarship from the university. So this is how we are making it as an inclusive university.
That's great, sir. And we were on the question of marketing of the institute. So the kind of initiatives and the kind of good things we are doing for the students, it's very important to communicate them to the students or our viewers. So that's very important that you take marketing very seriously with regard to the online or the offline marketing. So what kind of initiatives currently into the marketing is the university running, and what's your plan for the future?
We are already very active. Our marketing team is very active on the Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Plus, we have the offline platforms also. See, we are running the various courses. We have some international students also, and they are here through the marketing only. And the marketing team is really very active at present, and they are the ones who are really becoming slowly and steadily the backbone of promoting the university at the national as well as the international level.
Okay. So basically, your focus is on both the offline and the online marketing strategies.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And one question that we have not discussed yet is about something a student is very curious to know about is the placements of the university.
Yeah.
So how do you make sure that you provide in the best kind of placements so that the students are willing to get into this college, and the kind of exposure they get at the university, they're able to apply that through the jobs they get through the university?
Okay. So we have got a placement cell, training and placement cell out here, which the sole function of this cell is to invite the companies from outside for the campus placement drives. So many students have got the placement through this particular placement cell. Plus, what we do here is we start the student training the students for interviews right from first year itself. A student has to face it's a part of the curriculum only. Any and every student has to face at least one interview every year. That may be an internal interview or maybe an external interview, so that he or she is well prepared for the when the companies come over to the campus for the placement drive, so that they are really well prepared for whatsoever the companies may be needing from them. So it's mandatory for all the students to appear for the interview every year, so that their skills are honed, their skills are sharpened, and if there's any flaw, we correct them well in time. So the placement and the training cell is really very active in the university.
Okay. So basically, from our interaction, I am able to conclude that you are helping the students from the very beginning as in their college search, and once they are into the college, you're taking care of everything with regard to quality education and the placements, so that they don't they are able to cope up with the studies, and they are also able to apply those studies in the practical knowledge that you provide at the university in the forms of internships and the other ways.
Right. That's
right, sir. So that's great, sir. And with this, we're done with the interview questions. So thank you so much for taking out time for us and giving your valuable insights on the questions that were put on you. And I hope this interaction would help the students and the viewers to choose the college, the right curriculum, the right course, so that they can proceed and make better careers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you so much, Sahil, for having me over, and I hope I have answered your queries well. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye, sir. Take care.